When did you get COVID and how long have you been dealing with it?
Yeah, I got COVID in March of 2020. So it was right in the beginning.
Marking 5 years since he got COVID just this past week. Quite a milestone. It was a year later, though, when Chris Larsen found his condition to be so debilitating he couldn't even do simple cognition. Hello, I'm Fox 13 News anchor Amy Nay. Chris shared with me his journey. It has had so many ups and downs and has really been so remarkable that he's not alone in this journey. There have been a lot of people going through similar symptoms, but some hope on the horizon, at least for Chris, after he found a treatment that he says seems to be working.
Chris, what has this been like for you? I think we hear about COVID and you know that some people got hit with this long COVID. What's that been like for you?
Well, pretty pretty disruptive, I guess, pretty life-changing.
Chris Larsen is a father of 4 young girls, a husband, and an account executive for a software company living in Spanish Fork.
Pretty well changed everything that we do. For
Wow.
parts of it, essentially bed-bound or at least homebound.
Speaking to me via Zoom from the airport, where he was about to board a plane and return to Florida, where he found a treatment he says has made all the difference.
I actually found it on YouTube, believe it or not.
Suspicious himself of the find, but at a point in his lack of progress that he was willing to try anything that offered some kind of improvement.
Long COVID has been very much a patient-led effort. So there's a lot of internet forums and things like that where you mine around and find others that have been affected by it.
Hearing about hyperbaric treatments often used on burn patients.
Followed the data to see if they got results, and they did.
Making the decision to pause his career and home life and travel to Florida, where he would stay for 4 months, renting a house right nearby the Aviv Clinic, and showing us this makeshift office he used to try to keep up on some of his work while he was receiving the treatments.
I've seen pretty good results. Certainly not all the way to 100%, but significant enough to help me do things like work and just go to my daughter's dance recitals, things like that.
Right now, just located in Tel Aviv and the Villages, Florida. A representative from the clinic says they're always looking into new possible locations, even maybe Salt Lake City. Chris said that would have been a real blessing for him and one he hopes for other local long COVID patients.
My initial brain scans showed some dysfunction in terms of blood flow and activity. So they know that it's a kind of or part of the issue is just lack of blood flow to the brain.
For Chris, the oxygen treatment helped his body heal the part of his brain that seemed to be affected by long COVID, almost as though he'd had a stroke.
Force oxygen into places where oxygen isn't getting, saturate with oxygen, and the body heals much better that way.
Adding the only reason he could do this treatment that's not covered by insurance was through the generosity of others and what he called an incredibly humbling GoFundMe that was started on his behalf.
Results for me are definitely worth it. Still got a long way to go, but definitely worth it.
And I've spoken to Chris since his follow-up appointment he had in Florida, and he was encouraged by his progress, hoping for that to continue. Also hoping for others who may be suffering to be able to find some help. As for the Aviv Clinics possibly coming to Utah, we have heard that rumor. I did reach out to the clinic. They sent me the following statement that says, "We are always looking at locations to expand Aviv Clinics across the country. However, we are not ready to discuss publicly any specific locations at this time." Of course, we'll keep you posted on any developments on that front. Reporting in the newsroom, Amy Nay, Fox 13 News, Utah.